There were two people born on July 21st that are two of the greatest people of all time. One happens to be sitting next to me. His name is Kevin Burgess. And the other one is, well, me, Dex Toth.
You were born July 21st?
July 21st, 1979.
Wow, man. Congrats.
Congrats to you. What a great day, man. I'm so glad you were born.
I am glad I was born too, man. I share that joy.
Yeah, I kind of feel gypped a little bit because, I had a summer birthday. So at school, I never got the cake at school or the cupcake.
Yes. I share in that same bitterness, man. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
I hear ya. But, man, KB is hanging out with us. Thank you so much for being a part of this and Harvest America.
Yeah. It's exciting, right? Yes, we're in a stadium right now for Jesus. Yeah.
The Cowboy Stadium.
I mean, it's not Raymond James Stadium, but it's still a stadium.
It'll do. It'll do. No Bucks here, but we'll do.
No Buccaneers.
Is this the biggest arena that you've ever played?
It might be. It might be. I played at Georgia Dome before, so if it's bigger than the Georgia Dome, then yes. Yeah.
This is like it really is Jerry World. I mean, it really is. I see Jerry everywhere. He says hi all the time.
Okay, I have a question. Speaking of, because we're in Jerry World, it's like this big old event. You have collaborated with some incredible artists. Like I saw FF5 in the music video. You were rocking it with Crowder, all these different people. But who is that one artist that you haven't connected with yet that you're like, dude, R.I.P. Prince, I was going to, and then like, who is it?
I pretty much work with everybody that I've wanted to work with. Okay. Yeah, there's a friend of mine is one of my favorite artists in the world. He's not in Christian music. John Bellion. He is. I respect him as a creative almost more than anybody else in the world. Him and I have talked about doing something together, so I hope that we can connect at some point. But outside of that, I've worked with pretty much everyone I wanted to work with. Yeah.
That was like next level. I love that record. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm like, you go ahead, Dex. I don't even have a question anymore. I just want to talk about this John Bellion collaboration. No, but for real, to take it serious, we were talking off air earlier, and you in your life, in your past, struggled with anxiety, deep depression, and unfortunately this week we've seen Kate Spade take her life. We've seen Anthony Bourdain, and we see immediately just millions of people posting Instagram and Facebook and like, say something, you're never alone, and offering their love and all this. But for you, that was something that was very, very real. What was it for you that got you out of that place?
Yeah. Well, I'll say for one, I think that it's important. I think it's important for us to engage those who we are worried about. I think it's a lot. It's like the 911 effect. If somebody gets hurt, we say somebody call 911, and you're attending to the situation. You find that nobody called 911. If someone needs to do it, you should do it. So I really want to encourage us not to just post about it or tweet about it, not to say if you have something, tell us. Don't wait. Yeah. You go and be a voice intentionally. Call, show up, whatever you need to do. Yeah. So let me just encourage you with that. I think for me, I realized that discouragement and depression oftentimes are a part of the reality of being a human being. And that God is able to snap his fingers and you won't feel any blues ever again. Yet there could be in it being there an opportunity not only for joy to break through, but for the community to come around and love. I mean, God wants to see his people loving. And that's a caveat to getting us through. So that's in my life what has kept me grounded, has been seeing Jesus in the darkness and experiencing the exuberance of breaking free, and then also having opportunities to sit with other people who are also wrestling. It combines us. Suffering actually unites people. Yeah.
We're hanging out with KB here at Harvest America, AT&T Stadium. Yeah. What's your story, man? Let's take us back to how you found Christ.
Yeah, I'm from Southside St. Petersburg. Real quick, I'm from Southside St. Petersburg. Yes, I live in Tampa now with my wife and two lovely boys. And I was in a, the common dark, this, dilapidated, experience that is to live in, a lot of the, inner city regions. And even if that's not your situation, it's just in general, I felt the distance from God, and it was absolutely crushing me. In that place, somebody gave me a Christian hip hop CD, and the CD, I resonated with it. The person on the front cover looked like me. The eight songs in, there was a gospel presentation. I believed on Jesus at my grandmother's house when I was 16, and I've been walking with Jesus ever since. Yeah.
That's really cool.
So as far as the hip hop culture goes in 2018, you mentioned John Bellion. I mean, just in the industry across the board, are you noticing any new trends, any positive movement? Because I mean, you look at Kendrick, and he just won a Pulitzer, right? I mean, so there's a lot of work being done, but and I hate to use the term, Christian or secular or general market, whatever you want to use, but I mean, just in the industry in general, what are you noticing?
Yeah. Well, there's always been negative things. So let me just say some of the positive things that I've noticed. One, I've noticed that there is a lot of focus on justice. That individuals who are suffering and often forgotten are being valued and prized. Voices that have been muted, female voices, African American voices, immigrant voices, there's a lot of advocacy happening in the world now, in the industry, I think, in those issues. And that actually really excites me, because that's very near and dear to the heart of God. It's who God is. God is for the forgotten. So that is what I'm hearing a lot in the mainstream, and I rejoice because I count it grace. Yeah.
I mean, we are here at Harvest America 2018 at AT&T Stadium, and I noticed this year one big thing is Harvest teaming up with Compassion International. So, I mean, talk a little bit about, as you mentioned, near and dear to your heart, I was noticing Twitter just blowing it up with, how we treat the refugee, how we treat the immigrant, very, true religion, caring for the widows and the orphans. And so talk a little bit about that, because obviously it's on your heart.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was just saying that, it does not make sense to say that you love your neighbor when the neighbors you love are folks that just look like you and live like you, have the same documentation you have, or the same ethnic backing that you are. You don't actually love your neighbor, you love yourself. You're looking for spinach. You're looking for spinach. You're looking for spinning images of your own image. And there are few things that can be more unlike God, because God's engagement with man is him coming after people who are absolutely unlike him, nothing like him, yet he loves them dearly. So I want to encourage believers to lead in genuine love that is uncomfortable, that is messy. It sometimes flies in the face of what the nation may be doing, what your political association may be doing. It doesn't matter. Our love is heavenly, and it is here to revolutionize. And if we're going to call ourselves Christians, we have to display that.
KB, everybody, throw out your Instagram and Snapchat and everything so everybody can follow you.
Yes, buy lots of my albums. Donate to my kids' future. I'm KB _HGA. HGA stands for His Glory Alone. You can pretty much find me there on every social media outlet.
There you go. Thanks, KB.